Bob Schieffer, Congress and the White House get down to the hard part. How do you pay for what the president says will be one of the largest reconstruction projects ever seen? That's where we start tonight, and then we'll cover these stories.
Big bucks are coming to the Big Easy, but who will profit? I'm Cheryl Atkinson.
He plans a sequel to Arnold the Governor. I'm John Blackstone on whether the people want to see it.
Ever use a debit card to buy gas? I'm Trish Regan with how that could cost you.
I'm Elizabeth Caledon. He survived Katrina, but can his young life be saved?
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
Last night, President Bush said the federal government will stay as long as it takes and do whatever it takes to rebuild the Gulf Coast, and the people in the disaster area took that as good news. But now comes the hard part, figuring out how to do it and how to pay for it. And those were the questions they were asking today from the city of New Orleans to the halls of Congress. We start tonight with the people who lived through it in the disaster area. Byron Pitts is there.
Drive down the dry streets of New Orleans today, and you will see misery's mark. That thick and toxic black water line stained across every building and every object in the floodwater's path.
This is your roof, the ceiling of your living room.
88-year-old Shelby Winfield's home is now covered in debris and mold. But he slept here last night anyway, because his is one of the few places in New Orleans with electricity.
Did you see the president's speech last night?
I seen it, yeah. I didn't sit
He liked the speech, but Mr. Winfield needs specifics.
I wanted him to go ahead on and open the bank and things so I can cash my check.
The speech was nice, but you want to be able to cash your check.
Yeah, I wanted to get my cash.
It is the day-to-day struggles that still consume those living at ground zero of America's worst natural disaster and kept most from watching President Bush's speech from Jackson Square.
Throughout the area hit by the hurricane, we will do what it takes.
Words that still ring hollow in some places.
He did say last night he
took responsibility for
it.
2-3 weeks into the game, it's a little late to be taking responsibility.
So the water was about knee-high, looks like in here.
Yeah.
But there are those who welcome the president's words and the promise of change.
Yesterday's behind us. Right.
John and Virginia Wyman know the Bush family personally. Mr. Wyman was ambassador to Finland under the elder President Bush.
We really have to have an optimistic attitude and go forward, because being sad and angry takes too much energy.
Tonight in this city beloved for its traditions, now suddenly burdened by tragedy, people need energy for the grimmest of tasks. As the death toll rises, families are faced with difficult choices.
We have a strong Catholic community. Cremation's not prevalent. People are thinking for the first time they have no other way to deal with their dead.
Starting this weekend, survivors will return to New Orleans by the thousands. The mayor hopes to have a third of the city back home in about a month. Bob?
Thank you very much, Byron. The impact of the hurricane and the cost of rebuilding are causing Americans to rethink priorities. A CBS News New York Times poll out today shows that 83% of those questioned are concerned that the war in Iraq will take money and resources now needed here. The president said today he is convinced there's no need for a tax hike, but that other programs may have to be cut. John Roberts was with the president today.
In Washington today, President Bush led an outpouring of sympathy and solidarity for people who have lost so much.
The destruction of this hurricane was beyond any human power to control, but the restoration of broken communities and disrupted lives now rests in our hands.
And from the president on down, agreement that a critical part of that reconstruction will be to end the cycle of poverty in the region, bred from decades of racism.
We can no longer be a nation that overlooks the poor and the suffering and continue past the ghetto on our way to the Mardi Gras.
Today, the White House got cracking on its plans for a massive rebuilding effort, repair the infrastructure, roads, bridges, schools, and water systems, offer tax breaks to businesses for startup, repair, or expansion, give away vacant federally owned housing and building lots to people who have lost their homes, and set up $5,000 worker recovery accounts for the unemployed to get job training, child care, and transportation. Where will the money come from? Taxpayers, said the White House today. It could add $200 billion to the deficit, a figure Republican budget hawks complain is out of control. Appearing with Russia's president late today, Mr. Bush ruled out a tax hike.
And so you bet it's going to cost money. And but I'm confident we can handle it, and I'm confident we can handle our other priorities. It's going to mean that we're going to have to make sure we cut unnecessary spending.
President Bush also promised a top-to-bottom study of the ineffective hurricane response, ordering the Homeland Security Department to review disaster plans in every major American city. And in his speech from New Orleans last night, the president opened up a new controversy, saying local and state officials just aren't capable of dealing with a crisis like Katrina.
It is now clear that a challenge on this scale requires greater federal authority and a broader role for the armed forces, the institution of our government most capable of massive logistical operations on a moment's notice.
But the White House isn't sure how to do that. It would require action from Congress, perhaps even a change to the 147-year-old law that prohibits the U.S. military from taking on law enforcement duties. And it would almost certainly ignite a power struggle over states' rights and who is in charge. Bob?
John, in the midst of all this, we had another story today coming out of the White House that the vice president is going to have some surgery. What can you tell us about that?
It was discovered in a recent checkup that he has a popliteal aneurysm. That's a weakness in the artery behind his right knee. It's not life-threatening as it would be if it were in either the abdomen or the brain, but it's something to be concerned about. And so the vice president next weekend will go into the hospital to have it taken care of. He'll have to stay there shortly, then be right back at work. Bob?
All right. Thank you, John. Thousands of people Katrina was coming, and now we're finding out that many of them didn't leave because they couldn't. In a survey of some who wound up in shelters in Houston, 38% said they didn't leave because they have physical disabilities or were caring for someone who does. It also turns out that half the people who were trapped in their homes waited 3 or more days to be rescued. And now to the war in Iraq. Our CBS News New York Times poll that I mentioned a moment ago finds that for the first time, a majority of Americans believe U.S. forces should pull out soon. 52% of those surveyed said American troops should leave Iraq as soon as possible. Just 42% now support staying as long as it takes to complete the mission. Less than a third now believe the war in Iraq has made the United States safer from terrorism. And half of those questioned thought so in January of last year. In Iraq today, another U.S. Marine was killed, and there were more suicide bombings. One at a Shiite mosque in a northern town killed a dozen worshipers. The police caught a second bomber, a Saudi, before he could strike. In California, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger confirmed today what everyone expected. He told supporters in San Diego he is running for re-election. John Blackstone with the story.
With all the confidence of an action hero, California's governor made his announcement.
Yes, I will run for governor next year again, yes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger got plenty of cheers at the invitation-only event, but the protesters outside were perhaps a better reflection of reality. The latest poll shows just 36% of California voters want him for another term.
He's in political trouble, and it's entirely of his own making.
One measure of his fading popularity, 3 initiatives he's put on the ballot for a special election in November are way behind in the polls.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had a great first year and a really bad second year as governor.
His second year has been marked by an all-out attack on the unions that represent police and firefighters, nurses, and teachers. He claims they're breaking the state's budget and paralyzing politics.
I'm there as your warrior. Remember that, to protect you. I will protect you.
But the public servants are turning out to be tough opponents. The movie hero is being put on the ropes by the likes of a former kindergarten teacher, Barbara Kerr, head of the state teachers union. The teachers, the nurses, the firefighters against the Terminator.
That's right. And we intend to win.
Of course, I'm blooded. Yes, but unbowed.
When he entered politics, Schwarzenegger bragged of being so rich nobody could buy him. But in office, he's turned out to be a money magnet. Now, at every fundraiser, there's a protest.
When he's out there at $100,000 plate chicken dinners and doing those kinds of things, we have to let people know.
While potential challengers are encouraged by Schwarzenegger's current difficulties, They also know he has a year to use his undeniable star power to win power again. John Blackstone, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Coming up, contracts for the rebuilding of New Orleans are already being awarded. Who's getting them and who isn't is tonight's crisis check. But first, CBS News is asking your help to reunite families separated by Hurricane Katrina. Tasha Nuttall is missing from Laurel, Mississippi. She is 16 years old, 5'10", 110 pounds. Her 2-year-old daughter, Jay Shana, is also missing. There is no picture of her. We're also looking for 10-year-old Matthew Allen, who's missing from Long Beach, Mississippi. He has blonde hair, green eyes, and a scar on his forehead. If you have any information about these people, please call 1-800-THE-LOST or go to missingkids.com.
I could have blown the whole thing. I was leaving. Something made me turn. The bag was right there. And the deals in that bag are not the ones I saw just a week ago. What did I learn? You got to get your shopping done on closeout standard time once a week. We go to Big Lots, and there are brand name deals all over the place. The closeout price is just like that gooey center. You just want to bite it.
Big Lots. What's your deal today? Here's one. A 900 megahertz GE cordless phone, closeout priced at just $12.98.
Heartburn's back.
Deal me back in.
You mean out. Tums EX can't keep acid from coming back. Choose the juice that worked fast and last.
New Malox Antacid Barrier.
Fast relief plus a long-lasting protective barrier. New Malox Antacid Barrier.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien. Because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
I'd like to redeem my credit card miles. No.
Okay.
Oh, Chubsy, come on. The answer's always...
No!
That's right.
Ow. No!
I'm not hearing it.
No! No!
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There are no blackout dates on any airline, anytime.
I should have worked at Capital One!
What's in your wallet?
No!
Why go so far as to equip a sedan with a smoother riding double wishbone front suspension, 235 horsepower V6, and electronic stability control? Because instead of cutting corners, we'd rather take them. The all-new, highly agile 2006 Sonata. A Hyundai like you've never seen before.
If you have indoor or outdoor allergies, ask your doctor about something different. Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair works differently by blocking leukotrienes, an underlying cause of allergy symptoms. And Singulair is now approved to help relieve both indoor and outdoor allergy symptoms for a full 24 hours. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat indoor and outdoor allergies.
Well, it was inevitable, but it's still sad. Police in some places that took in hurricane victims are arresting residents who are posing as evacuees to get government aid money. It's just a small part of a big challenge, making sure that billions of aid dollars go to those who need them. Here's Cheryl Atkinson concluding our series, Crisis Check.
Rebuilding and recovery is now a multi-billion-dollar industry in New Orleans.
I'd like to see everybody from New Orleans get to work.
$9 billion FEMA dollars have already been handed out, but in a city that was 67% black, some are afraid the train has left the station without local businesses aboard. One of the first needs was body recovery. There are plenty of black morticians in New Orleans, but they say they didn't get the work. When they complained, FEMA asked for a list of minority businesses. The NAACP's local president provided one, but says he hasn't heard back.
The majority of those people that perished were African American. Now, it would just seem right that minority businesses would be involved in that process. It just seems to be the right thing that should have been done.
Among the early winners from out of town, Halliburton, experienced in rebuilding on a massive scale, but plagued by allegations of overcharging and fraud in Iraq, and controversial for its ties to the well-connected. As for those languishing in shelters, they argue they built New Orleans and they should be the ones rebuilding too.
It'd be pretty ridiculous to not include those of us who are victims.
As a woman, Londi Moore is also a minority business owner who can't even pay her own workers since Katrina. She felt betrayed when FEMA sent a contract inspector to her home.
He's from Dallas, Texas. I can give you a list of engineers who are just as qualified right here in St. Tammany Parish that could have done this work.
It's not too late. $100 billion or more may go toward rebuilding. Last night, Londi Moore watched as the president promised locals would get a piece of the pie. But some are still wondering how to get a seat at the table.
We're hearing every day about contracts worth millions and billions of dollars that are being let. The black community is being locked out of those contracts.
Who's going to keep an eye on all that spending? Congress has approved a $15 million oversight plan that includes a team of Homeland Security inspectors to watch the money. Bob?
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Just ahead, if you buy gas with your debit card, and millions of drivers do, have we got a Friday consumer alert for you?
A hurricane success story. Of all the failures during the storm's aftermath, one organization performed brilliantly, the U.S. Coast Guard. Monday, what other agencies could learn from them and why they were so well prepared for their mission. On the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer. Experience you can trust.
Cholesterol comes from two sources. It's not only from that buttered crab, but from Krabby Aunt Betty. And not just from that ice cream pop, but from Mom and Pop as well. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food, and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
Big news for dry, irritated eyes. Introducing new Clear Eyes for dry eyes. Your dry eyes get moisture that stays in for lasting relief. Wow. New Clear Eyes for dry eyes.
Exciting news from Allegra. Allegra D 24-hour. Find out what all the excitement's about. Ask your doctor today about Allegra D 24-hour. You need to know about it.
Every day, I see all kinds of people with diabetes. And for everyone, eating right and controlling weight is essential and hard to do. That's why there's delicious Glucerna to have as a meal or satisfying snack. Glucerna's unique blends of slowly digested carbs are clinically shown to help control blood sugar. And with a little exercise, Glucerna may help you lose weight. For free meal plans, visit Glucerna.com. It's time for a taste of freedom.
Tragedy can happen anytime, any place, to anyone. When the winds of disaster fade, one organization is always there. An army of compassion. Help turn tragedy into recovery. 1-800-SALARMY.org.
In the anchor chair, Bob Schieffer's the natural.
The CBS Evening News, a real pleasure to watch.
He's the people's anchor, he's the viewer's anchor.
The CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
There is a growing problem with implanted defibrillators, those tiny medical devices to shock a patient's heart back to normal rhythm. They've been linked to 31 deaths now. Some of the devices were recalled several months ago, and today the FDA disclosed the malfunction rate has been rising to about 20 out of 1,000. Even so, the FDA says failures are rare and the benefits outweigh the risks of surgically removing and replacing them. The price of gasoline is slowly falling, but drivers are still paying an awful lot to fill up their tanks. If you pay with a debit card, you should know what many gas stations are doing these days to make sure you have enough money in your account to pay. Trish Regan now with our Friday Consumer Alert.
Come on, baby. With 3 kids and another on the way, Joe and Melanie Grams live paycheck to paycheck. 2 weeks ago, they headed to this Hess station in Newport Richey, Florida to fill their van before the holiday weekend. They bought $25 worth of gas with a debit card. When they got home, Melanie checked their bank account online and discovered they were in the red.
What went through your mind when you realized your bank account was negative?
How are we going to eat? We need that money.
The Grams only had $73 in the bank that Friday, but the gas station had put a $75 hold on their account, a hold that lasted 3 business days.
When you put your debit card in at the gas station, the station doesn't know how much it's going to take to fill up your tank, but they know 5 minutes later when your transaction is finished. So if there is a need for a hold, it ought to be 5 or 10 minutes and not 72 hours.
Holds are allowed under Visa's processing rules. Gas stations nationwide are instituting them because of record high gas prices. Visa says the policy safeguards both cardholders and merchants, ensuring cardholders don't spend more money than they have and merchants are paid for the transaction. But consumer groups say it's causing checks to bounce all over the country.
The only people who are going to make money off of it are your bank if it's causing you to bounce checks. And then they could be making significant money.
Hess points out consumers can avoid the hold by entering their PIN numbers when they pay. That's because PIN transactions are processed nearly immediately, while credit transactions take more time. But the Grams couldn't wait 3 days to put food on the table.
To us, it's a lot of money. I mean, that was our money for groceries that week. And it was gone as far as we know.
I think that they should have let us know so we had the choice to go to the ATM machine and get cash and pay that way.
Their neighborhood Hess station has since posted signs to warn people about the holds, but the Grams say it's too late. Bob, they told me they are just not going back.
Well, how did they get through the weekend?
Well, they called their bank, and fortunately the bank actually gave them a temporary credit. But it wasn't until Wednesday that the whole thing was resolved.
I've never heard of this. How is it very widespread?
It's becoming a growing problem. We know of at least 2 major chains, Hess and Chevron, that are doing it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Trish. Okay. Coming up next, Hurricane Katrina may have saved a life, the life of this young boy.
Hair color a little dull? Here's a bright idea. Natural Instincts from Clairol. Just take 10 minutes a month and charge up your color with Natural Instincts. There's nothing scary to fry your hair. Just a nice, healthy-looking boost for your color that leaves your hair even shinier than it was 10 minutes ago. Natural Instincts with pure aloe, chamomile, and ginseng is so gentle, you can recharge your color every month. 10 minutes a month and you're shining all year. Less time, less risk, more reward. Natural Instincts from Clairol.
Stupid allergies. Poor kid can't sleep.
He's all congested from nasal allergies.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to treat and help prevent congestion and other seasonal nasal allergy symptoms.
Let's tell his mom. You go.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
His congestion's better.
But your nose isn't.
For seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one to treat and help prevent congestion. Talk to your doctor.
Marie Callender was like a lot of grandmas, and nobody has ever indulged us like Grandma. A cookie before dinner, the extra scoop, even a fort in the living room was just fine. And Marie Callender's also believes in a little indulgence, so we never cut corners. Like our chicken pot pie. It has a flaky crust made from scratch that's filled with tender chicken and crisp vegetables. Marie Callender's chicken pot pies. Sit down, eat, enjoy.
My doctor said my type 2 diabetes was out of control. That high blood sugar increased my risk of serious complications. He said I better diet, exercise, take my medicine. Yeah. I heard it all before. Well, maybe I should have listened.
Every year, up to 24,000 people lose their eyesight to diabetes. Even more are at risk for stroke, heart attack, and limb loss. If you have high blood sugar, get help. Call or visit diabetes.com.
home shouldn't be this hard. At RE/MAX, you'll find an experienced agent to take on the job and make your life a whole lot simpler.
Paper cut.
Yeah. Let's stick with RE/MAX.
Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
It was really dark. The road was icy.
It was really slippery.
We started swerving.
I thought we were gonna roll over, but we didn't. It stopped us swerving and keep the car straight.
Who's gonna help you stay in control?
When things are out of your control.
Someone should.
Police bust a drug house near 2 Kaiser schools. I'm Amy Fraser. I'll have that story coming up tonight on KOIN News 6 at 6.
And finally tonight, a small miracle from the big hurricane disaster. Katrina may have actually helped a young heart patient's prospects for life. Here is medical correspondent Elizabeth Callahan.
For 9-year-old Jacques Brumfield and his family, surviving Hurricane Katrina was the easy part. As the storm blew into the Gulf, this little boy lay dying of a congenital heart defect in a New Orleans hospital.
Things just turned for the worst.
With few resources and no options, his parents were panicked.
The doctor told me there was nothing else he could do for him.
Then, in a strange twist of fate, disaster struck. When Katrina's winds let loose and the levees broke, hospital patients were evacuated, and Jacques got a second chance. He was taken first to Baton Rouge and then on to Arkansas Children's Hospital, a facility famous for treating pediatric heart problems. Since no artificial heart was small enough for the boy, the experienced doctors here acted quickly to import a special pump known as a Berlin heart. The FDA had to grant special approval to use it, and the device was flown overnight from Germany, specifically to save Jacques' life. The small pump was implanted late yesterday, and so far, so good. But doctors say it's a temporary fix, and Jacques has a long struggle ahead.
The fact of the matter is that what Jacques really needs is a heart donor.
As for his parents, they've lost jobs and don't even know if their homes are still standing back in Louisiana, but none of that seems to matter. They have only one wish for the future.
Just to hear him say daddy again.
He's still sedated and weak, but if Jacques pulls through, his family will have quite a story to share about getting a shot at life he never would have received if nature hadn't interfered. Elizabeth Callahan, CBS News, New York.
And that's the news. Coming up this weekend, Sunday morning, has Paul McCartney as he kicks off a new tour. And on Face the Nation, we'll get the latest on the Gulf Coast disaster recovery from Vice Admiral Thad Allen. I'm Bob Schieffer in New York. Good
night. For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, where you can find everything you and your family need at everyday low prices. Walmart, always low prices, always. CBSNews.com, always free news video, always more web-exclusive reporting, always on CBSNews.com.
Stress Busters, how to get rid of the tension that's taken over your body on the Saturday Early Show. Experience CBS News.
Next, meth, pot, and cash. Police find it all inside a suspected drug house tonight. The accused dealers are facing even more charges because of where they were located.
Plus, a car plows into a drug treatment clinic where the woman behind the wheel was a patient. Tonight, we know more about what caused her to lose control.
And a local man rushed to the hospital following a dog attack. Hear why witnesses say one of his own dogs turned on him.
Now, for Portland, Southwest Washington, and all of Oregon, this is KOIN News 6 at 6 p.m. News that's to the point.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to KOIN News 6 at 6. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Kelly Day. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. Police bust several people who were accused of dealing methamphetamine out of an apartment near 2 schools. Police raided the home on Verde Court in Kaiser about 7 o'clock last night. The apartment is within 1,000 feet of Claggett Creek Middle School and Weddell Elementary. KOIN News 6 reporter Amy Frazier has more now on what investigators found.